अच्छा जॉइन होता है
Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so I'm sorry for late starting the session, but actually I'm at my hometown, and because of that, okay, there is issue while joining. Okay, no problem. Hope everyone with me. Okay, and eager to learn the new concept here in the Java Mastery free session. Yes. Okay. 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 Good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your responses. Your responses are very, very important for me. And thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much for your patience. Okay. So before starting with today's agenda, let's quickly recap what exactly we did in the last session. Okay. So in last session, we started with, I think, the what is exactly the variable. Okay. In that one, when we start with a variable, we understood that it is a name given to the memory location. It is name given to the memory location. It is used to store the data. It is used to store the data. And one more thing we said here, that one variable can store only one value at a time. Okay. And variable can store only okay, what's a variable can store value of its own type only. So if I have created the variable of integer, okay, I can store only integer value. If I do have the float variable, then I can store only the float value. If I do have the boolean variable, then I can store the boolean value. If I do have the string variable, then I can store the string value, and so on. Okay, so that is what we have discussed about the variable. So it is like the home. It is like our home. So our home have the name. Okay, our home has the address. Okay, and in home we as a people, okay, or the persons, we are staying there. So like that one only, we have the variable, okay, which is the name given to the memory location, like our home, like Ram Nivas, Sham Nivas, like that one. Okay, and it have the address. But in Java, I don't call it as the address. I usually use it as a reference basically. Okay, and then in that one we are going to store the data. So here, then after that one, we have discussed about the data types. Like we have categorized or grouped the data types as a primitive as well as a non-primitive. Primitive stands for the standard data type, and the non-primitives are the user defined basically, that we have to discuss. So here primitive, we observe integer, floating, character, boolean, and a string. So these are the main categories. And then if I consider the integer, then in that one we have the byte, or we do have the short, okay, int, and the long. These are the data type. Then in the floating, that means what, with a decimal point like the 10.5, 20.5. We have the float and double. For the single character, okay, we like a, b, or star, or the asterisk, even the special character, we have the char. Then boolean, true or false. String, like the Niteen, I do have put it like that one. Okay, we have the data type like a string here. So this is what, okay, we have discussed. Then when we are going for the variable, basically to use the variable, we have some different steps. And in that step, we discuss that variable declaration stage. Okay, in that one we discuss like okay, data type and variable name. In that one, integer number one, double percentage character division. Okay, likewise there is another one. Okay, so when we are going to declare like this one, actual memory is getting allocated. Okay, so actual memory is getting allocated. And then if I have to assign the value, if I have to store the value, then we have to go for the initialization of variable. So for example, here I do have the number one is equals to 10, percentage is equal to 97.64, like that one. So this is what the initialization. If I want to perform both the steps in a single step, so I do have the step one and a two. That is what we call it as a declaration with the initialization. So in that one, data type, variable name, and the value, we will assign like this one. So here we observe that integer number one is equal to 10, double percentage is equal to 97.64, and so on. Okay, so as we have discussed, okay, these steps with the data types and the variable, then actually we go for the actual programs here. And I think, okay, I discussed with you the very first program, like write a Java program to display the sum of two numbers. And there we discuss number one, number two. Okay, and their actual logic is sum is equal to number one plus number two. So that was the very chiller program we have discussed. Okay, but through that one, we are able to understand that what is exactly the basic needed to go for the very simple program. Then after that one, we have went here the write a Java program to display amount if we know the rate and quantity. There, what is the input? So there we observe rate and the quantity. That is the input. That is the input. And then if I given that rate and quantity, then actual amount is equal to rate into quantity. Rate into quantity, and that result will be get stored into the amount, and we try to display that amount, and we were getting the, okay, 300, like that one. So I think that was the part, okay, we have discussed into the last session. Okay, hope everyone understood this one. Is there any question, any doubt? Okay, if you have, you can put here into the chat quickly, or even you can speak. Okay, super. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sneha. Okay, no questions, no problem. So I'm just trying to increase the font so that everyone can see this. Okay. Now again today I'm stopping these programs, basic programs, and we'll go for the very interesting part of the programming, basically very interesting part of the Java programming, basically. So if you understand these two concepts today, then nobody can stop you to enter into the programming world and get succeed. Okay, so what is that concept? Basically, we need to understand. And here today, I'm going to discuss two important concepts. One is a object, okay, and another one, okay, that is the class. So these are the two very, very, very important concept in the Java programming. Okay, or if you want to go into the any other object-oriented programming, basically, this is the very important concept, and that I'm just going to discuss over here. Okay, with you. Okay, so get ready to understand this. Okay, and I guarantee everyone will able to understand this. Okay, and even they will able to write their project. They can use that both the concept into your programming, into your project too. Okay, so we'll start with the very first concept, that is what the object. And even we observe there. Okay, Java is object oriented programming language, and in object oriented programming language there are the very important pillars of the object oriented programming. These are called as whoops. These are called as a whoops, we can say. So very first one we observe, that is the object, then class, then encapsulation, then abstraction, then inheritance, then polymorphism, then late binding or the dynamic binding, and then finally the message passing. So these were the topic basically we discuss. Okay, that these are the pillar of the object oriented programming. And now I just started with the very, very, very first oops concept, that is what object. So I just before giving the definition of that, I just want to hear from you. What do you know about object? What do you know about object? You can speak or put in the chat quickly. What is the object? Okay, Kashmir is saying instance of class. Yes, Raj saying any entity. Okay, Parth saying okay, real or runtime entity. Priyanka saying a physical or the logical entity. Okay, super, super. Anybody else? Anybody else? Yes, Punam is saying instance of a class. Okay. Then Riddhi is saying an object is an element or the instance. Kashmir again putting here, it is the blueprint of a class. It is a blueprint of a class. Okay, okay, okay. All are great. Good, good. Thank you so much for your responses. So, see, I'm just going to provide. See, object is a very important thing basically into the project, into the object-oriented programming. Okay, so that we need to understand. That we need to understand. So here is a very chiller definition. Anybody can understand that. Okay, so as you guys said, what is object? It is a real world entity. It is real world entity. What is I'm saying object? Object is a real world entity which is exist and can be defined. What I said? Object is a real world entity. Object is a real world entity which is exist and can be defined, basically, which is exist and can be defined. That what exactly meaning of this statement? So it is a real world entity. Real world entity means what? It is there into the real world. It is there into the real world which is exist and can be defined. Means what? If I took the name, if I took the name of that thing, okay, the image or the picture of that one should come in front of me, okay, in front of my mind, basically. So that is what the real world entity. So if I say, okay, if I say dog, is it an entity? Sir, is it object? Is it object? Is it object? Is it a dog is object? Yes. Quickly put here in the chat. Is it a dog is object? Yes. Yes. So in the definition I said it is a real world entity. So dog is in the real world and that is exist. If I say the name, okay, I came the dog in front of me, okay, the picture of dog, it came in front of me, and hence it is the object, we can say. So in a very single line definition, I'm saying a dog is exist and can be defined. Okay, if I say employee, if I say employee, okay, it is also exist and can be defined. It is also exist and can be defined. Or if I say mobile, if I say mobile, okay, mobile is also exist and can be defined. Mobile is also exist and can be defined. So next I can say account. Is it object? Is it object? Can you put here in the quickly chat? Is it account is object? Okay. Punam is saying no. Yes. Anybody else? Is it account is object? Through this definition, it is a real world entity which is exist and can be defined. So in that one, okay, is it like the account is coming into that single line definition of the object, as it's not real world entity? Okay, Raj is saying yes, it is object. Kashmira is saying yes, it is object. Yes, anybody else? Priyanka is saying yes, it is object. Okay, okay, good. Lakshdeep is also saying okay, it is object. Great, great, super. See, if I say account, yes, Swati is saying yes, it is exist and can be defined. Okay, okay, good. Thank you so much for your responses here. So see, if I say here the account, what comes in the mind? What comes in the mind? So if I think, then I think that okay, there can be a bank account. There can be a bank account, or there can be an Instagram account, or there can be a Facebook account, or there can be a Gmail account. There can be a Gmail account. So that means that if I am considering the account, and if I consider as a bank account, if I consider a bank account, then is it exist? Of course, account is exist. Account is there. Account is there. And is it defined? So yes, it is also defined, because okay, through the bank account I understand that yes, okay, there will be a bank, okay, there will be a branch, okay, there will be a customer name, okay, there will be a balance for that particular account, and so on, if I am considering as a bank account, basically. Okay, and hence the definition, okay, which I'm saying, it is a real world entity which is exist and can be defined. That means what? Everything in front of you, which I'm saying, everything in front of you which is exist and can be defined is called as object, is called as a object. So for example, okay, if you have the laptop in front of you, that is also the object. Okay, mobile is also the object. Okay, chair is also the object. Table is also the object. charger is also the object, mouse is also the object, key is also the object, home is also the object, village is also the object, state is also the object, country is also the object. Okay, so all these are the examples of the object because all these are exist and can be defined. All these are the exist and can be defined. Okay, so sometimes through the definition, okay, we will get confused, okay, to understand what are the object. So to explain more, we have the few things added to this one. So every object in a real world, every object in a real world, every object in a real world has three things. Every object in a real world has three things. Okay, what are that three things? So every object in a real world has attributes. Okay, sometimes we call it as the behaviors. Sorry, attribute, or we call it as the properties. Attributes. Okay, attributes. We call it as the attributes. So every object in a real world has an attribute. And what are these attributes basically? Attributes are the qualitative things about an object. See what I'm saying? What are the attributes or the properties? These are the qualitative things about an object which are used to describe that particular object. Okay, which are used to describe that particular object. So for example, if I consider the employee, every employee has an employee ID, every employee has an employee name, every employee has an age, every employee has an experience. Okay, or it can be a fresher, but experience in years. Okay, so even freshers have the 0 years. Okay, then every employee have the salary. Okay, like that one. Okay, all these are called as a properties, or we also called it as the attributes. We call it as the attribute. So like that one, if I consider the dog, then what will be the attributes? I can say her dog has the name. So name. Okay, then we can have the color. Okay, we can have the height. Okay, then we can have the age of that dog. Okay, then I can have the breed of the dog, like that one. That means what? Okay, that breed can be there for the dog. Exactly same. Okay, if I consider here the mobile, then what is the attribute for the mobile? So I can have the mobile company. Okay, then we can have the model. Okay, then we have the price. Okay, then we can have the color. Okay, then we can have the size. Is it a small size? Okay, bigger size, like that one. It can have the size. Okay, and so on. There can be a many. There can be a many. Likewise, if I'm consider account as the object, then we can have the account number. Then we can have the account, okay, name. Account, okay, we can say name. Then we can have the account type. Okay, then which one bank, okay, in which one branch. Okay, like that one. Okay, like that one. Do you have the balance in that account? Okay, like that one. So this is how, okay, we can say about the attribute or the properties. So every object in a real world, every object, you can consider any. So every object in a real world has a attribute or the properties, and these are the qualitative things about an object. These are the qualitative things about an object which are used to describe that particular object, which are used to describe that particular object. Okay, so this is what about the very first thing. It is about the very first thing. Then second thing about every object is what? Every object in a real world has a behavior. Every object in a real world has a behavior. And what is mean by behavior? What is mean by behavior? So behavior is nothing but means of communication. Behavior is nothing but a means of communication. That is how how two objects interact with each other, how two objects communicate with each other, how two objects communicate with each other. In another words, I can say behavior is nothing but the actions Behavior is nothing but the functions, okay, performed by that particular object, basically performed by that particular object. So for example, okay, if I consider the mobile, so what are the functions of that particular mobile? What are the functions of that particular mobile? So function can be a calling, function can be a calling, function can be a receiving, function can be a receiving, okay, function can be a transferring call, okay, we can say function can be a transferring, or I can say messaging, or function can be a gaming, we can have the gaming. So all these are the functions, all these are the functions performed by that particular object. So if I am consider account as an object, if I consider account as an object, can you guys tell me what are the behaviors of that account if I consider account as an object? Yes, quickly put here in the chat, what are the behaviors of the account? Okay, so Priyanka is saying creating the account. Okay, someone is saying transaction. Okay, Parth is saying transaction balance checking. Okay, Tr- transaction is something different and balance checking is something different. Okay, that message you got actually. So you can check only the balance part. Okay, then Sanket is saying okay, it is the debit or the credit. Okay. Atul is saying saving account. Okay, Swati is saying transaction. Siddesh is saying withdraw. Yes, Atul is saying RTGS, NEFT payment. Okay, Swati is saying deposit. Okay, super. Thank you so much. So you guys understood that yes, account is an object, and which have these properties like that one. Okay, we can have the okay deposit. So deposit will be a function. Deposit will be a function. Yes, Kashmira, depositing money. Okay, Swati, deposit. Okay, so deposit is a what we can say one of the behavior if I consider the account. Or okay, you guys have put it the withdraw. Okay, that is also okay. Yes, that is also the we can say behavior. Yes, Neha. So like that one, okay, I can have yes balance checking. Okay, check balance like that one I'm writing. Okay, so this is also the behavior. Okay, yes, online banking, Atul is saying. Okay, like that one, I can say transfer amount. So I am just saying, okay, it can be any through the RTGS, okay, or through the online banking like that one. Okay, so these are the few very important behaviors if I consider the account. Okay, so what I mention here basically, so behavior is nothing but the actions. Behavior is nothing but the function performed by that particular object. Okay, and these are the examples we observed. These are the examples we observed, and it is very important to find out all the objects present in your problem statement or in your project. If you got all the object, then very important thing is what you need to find out, what are the attributes or what are the properties, okay, of that particular object. Then we have to find out all the behaviors, and if you are able to identify both the things, then the programming is very chiller. Okay, writing a code is again the very chiller, because by observing this one only, you have to write your code, you have to write your project. Okay, you have to write your source code basically. Okay, so these are the two things basically related to the object. As I said, object is a real world entity which is exist and can be defined. Every object in a real world has a three things. Very first thing is what the attribute or the properties. Second thing is what the behavior. And now we do have the third thing. We do have the third thing. We do have the third thing. And that is nothing but, okay, we call it as identity. We call it as the identity. Identity. Okay, so every object in a real world has identity also. Okay, identity is nothing but what? For the citizen of India. Okay, what is the identity? You guys have the Aadhaar card. Okay, you can have the PAN card. Okay, or you can have the voter card, voter ID, or sometimes okay you can have the passport. Okay, if anything is not there, okay, you what is the uniqueness there? So you have the fingerprints. Okay, thumb impression you guys are taking as a fingerprint for the unique identification. Okay, likewise, okay, even the pattern of your eye is again it is the unique. So eye retina we call it as, and that is also the unique. That is also the unique. So that is what basically the uniqueness of that particular object, and that is nothing but the identity. Uniqueness of that particular object is nothing but the identity of that particular object. Okay, so basically I can say identity is a very special feature or the property or the attribute of a class, okay, that is used for unique identification of that particular class. So for example, if I do have the account, if I do have the account, then in that one account number will be considered as a identity. So if I do have the multiple accounts, so in that multiple accounts, account number is considered as account number is considered as a identity of that particular account. Okay, so if I do have the mobile, okay, then in a mobile, okay, we do have some IMEI number, something like this. Okay, that is for the unique identification of that particular slot basically. So for that one we are going to use this, we are going to use this one. Okay, like even if you have the employee, okay, you do have the employee ID, employee, okay, ID for that one. Those are the college student basically, those are the college student. For them identity is nothing but the roll number, identity is nothing but the roll number. So these are the basically the identity of a object. Okay, so if you know about databases, if you know about the relational databases like the Oracle, okay, or the MySQL or the PostgreSQL, so in that one you have the primary key for the unique identification. You have the primary key for the unique identification, primary key for the unique identification. So that primary key is nothing but here the identity, because through that primary key, that entire record you are identifying uniquely, you are identifying uniquely, you are identifying uniquely. Exactly same here, the objects will be identified with the help of that identity, which is the very special property, which is the, yes, which is the very special property, and that will be there. So now, but in our case, okay, Nitin sir, you given here the employee ID as identity, IMEI number as identity, or account number as identity. Okay, so if we do have the dog, if you do have the dog, then how the identity, what is the identity for that dog? Can anybody tell me what is the identity for the dog? Okay, Lakshdeep Singh breed, Atul is saying Doberman. Okay, Doberman is one of the breed, I think, Atul. Na? Okay, then Sneha breed is saying. Okay, yes. Others. Hey, quickly respond. I want to hear from you. What is the identity? Employee have the employee ID. Mobile have the IMEI number. Account has the account number. Okay, then uh, student have the roll number. Siddesh is saying name. Okay, is the identity. Okay, name of that dog. Yes, Swati is saying animal is the identity. Okay, yes, nose print of the dog, Sanket. Great. Very first time I hear this, Sanketa. Okay, good, good. Nose print of the dog. Nose print of the dog. Super. Yes. Anybody else? I just want to hear from you. Okay. I just want to hear from you. Okay. It is unique in every dog. Okay. I'm not, I hear very first time. Okay. Sanket. Okay. Thank you so much. Yes. Unique memory address. Kashmira, unique memory. I'm talking about the dog, Kashmira. So what is identity for the dog if I consider the dog as an object? Yes. Others, I want to hear from all. Okay. Parth is saying eye color. Okay. Dog owner maybe. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. No problem. I just give you a scenario. Assume Sanket is here. Okay. Giving multiple answers. So assume like a Sanket is very early in the morning. Oh, okay. Going for the walking. Okay. Or might be he's going for the gym. I don't know he's going for the gym or not, but मान के चल कि dog the Sanket is going for the gym very early in the morning. Sanket saw okay there is a dog sleeping. संकेत को अच्छा नहीं लगा यार मैं तो जाग रहा हूँ मैं जा रहा हूँ जिम को इतने अर्ली इन द मॉर्निंग उठ के एंड दिस डॉग इज स्लीपिंग उसको रहा नहीं गया एंड देन संकेत जस्ट किक द डॉग ओके he want to wake up him or her whoever is that okay so as soon as he hit the dog what happened क्या हो सकता है yes can you put here if Sanket hit a dog okay kick the dog what will happen yes quickly put here in the chat I want to hear if Sanket kick the dog what will happen others you can just imagine and put here in the chat yes quickly I want to hear from you react angrily okay Atul is saying react angry yes others okay might be bite this is saying okay Sneha okay dog bites Sanket okay might be yes okay bark that can be a chance okay dog attack on Sanket might be okay bite. Okay, okay, good, good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Dog maybe bite me or run away from the me. Yes, yes, super. So that means what? There might be chance that okay, if Sanket hit the dog or if Sanket kick the dog, if dog comes over, so what it can do? He will run away. Okay, he will run away. Or if dog is little strong, okay, he can be bark. Okay, so it can be bark. Okay, or we can say if dog is okay, dog is very strong, then there can be a biting. Okay, so these are the behaviors of a dog I can consider. Okay, now Sanket hit the dog. Okay, that time dog went to his friend. Okay, and while coming back, okay, Sanket saw that there are the hundreds of dog came. ओके दोस्तों को लेके आया ये पूरा दोस्तों को लेके आया अभी देखते हैं संकेत की ओर सो नाउ हाउ संकेत विल अंडरस्टैंड विच वन डॉग इज because as you guys have answered because all the dog having a same breed all the dog having same color even there are few more dogs having same name okay even some dog okay all are angry Atul said react angry, but all because मेरे दोस्त को लात मारा है संकेत ने. Yes, so he is also very angry. Yes, and even Sanket 2 4 dogs having exactly same name. Okay, even all dog having the same height, Sneha. Yes. Now everything is same. Then how you are going to understand? How you are going to understand? How you will understand that, okay, that is the same dog. So see what I'm going to say here. In a real world, there are some object. In a real world, there are some object which identity is not directly visible. There might be chance that, okay, their identity is not visible. In that cases, you as a programmer, everyone as a programmer, you have to assign the identity to your, okay, object. So for example, if you went into the mall and there you can observe, okay, in the mall there are the watermelons too. And if you observe the watermelons, all are looking same. All are looking same. So how the owner of that mall will understand, okay, which one watermelon is sold out and which one is eaten by their employee? How their employee? So how it is going to understand? So there is no chance. So in that cases, if objects are identical, okay, their identity is not directly visible to the human. So in that cases, we should have to assign the identity. So for the watermelons, okay, they will put a barcode or the batch number. See, this is saying batch number, but it will be a barcode, because in a batch there can be a multiple items. Okay, so barcode will be there, and that barcode is the unique identification, we can say. That barcode is the unique identification for that particular item, and through that one, that is get uniquely identified in a group basically, and that is nothing but the identity. So whenever you are writing the programs, whenever you are working on the projects, there you need to identify what are the different object present in my project, present in my problem statement. And as you got the all the object present in that, then you have to find out what are the attributes, what are the properties, because through the attribute or the properties, your user interface is going to design. Okay, on the same, okay, you are going to design the database tables. You have to design the database tables. You have to design the databases table. So database table have the columns, so that column names are nothing but your properties. That column names are nothing but your attributes. So that you have to find out. Exactly same if you have the form like a employee registration form, so all employee details you are going to put, okay, into the form. So that means what user interface is also designed with the help of the attributes, and your database also get designed with the help of the attributes. So that is what the importance of the attribute as well as the properties of object, and that we need to understand. We have to find as a developer, as a programmer, and maximum thing we have to find out. That is the one important thing. Okay, if I'm then second thing is what we discuss, their behavior. And behavior are nothing but the functions. Behavior are nothing but the functions, and that are nothing but actual logic. So if you become the developer or if you become the tester, you are going to test it out. You are going to test it out, or you are going to develop, you are going to write the code by using the Java or other programming language, okay, by using that particular methods. So that means what, if you are in the banking application, you have to write the deposit method, you have to write the withdraw method, you have to write the transfer method, you have to write the balance inquiry method. So multiple methods you have to write as a programmer. You have to write as a coder. You have to write as a coder, and hence that is very much important. And then identity, through that identity, that all the objects, okay, will be uniquely identified. Like, okay, those are from the database background, or those already know the SQL and the SQL and the MySQL. In that one, we have the primary key, and that primary key is, okay, for the unique identification of that entire record. And hence that is what importance of your object in your software development world. Without 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 object in the real world, object in the programming, okay, your project or the programming is not possible by using a Java, by using a Python, by using a PHP, and so on. By using a PHP, okay, and so on. So that is what the importance of object. Hope everyone understood and the clear what is exactly the object. If yes, just put here in the message, yes, understood. Understood. Put a message understood here in the chat so I can understand. Okay, you guys are with me and listening me very carefully. Yes, I can see the Swati. Yes, understood. Priyanka is saying understood. Siddesh is saying yes. Atul is saying yes, understood. Riddhi is saying understood. Lakshdeep is saying yes. Rohit is saying yes. Yes, Raj is saying yes, sir. Okay. Yes, understood. Sanket is saying. Brunalini is saying yes, understood. Great. Mahesh is also saying yes. Okay. So, yes, Twinkle is also saying yes. Yes. So this is basically the importance. This is basically the importance and what exactly object is. Okay. So in a programming, whenever we go for the programming, everyone is able to find out what is exactly the object and what are the three important things about an object. Okay. One very important thing I just want to tell you. Tomorrow, we are going to play an online game. Okay. So one spinner I'm going to run. One spinner I'm going to run. And in that spinner, okay, your names will be there. Okay. So when I spin that spinner, okay, that will point out or that spinner will select one name. Okay. That will select one name. One name. And that one name basically, okay, I'm going to ask you the question, whatever exactly the topic, okay, till today I have discussed, so that, okay, you have to remember all the things basically. Okay, and those are giving the answers. Okay, definitely you will get a surprise. Okay, you will get the surprise things. Okay, in the last session of the programming. So daily basically I'm going to run since tomorrow, so please be here and the attentive. Okay, so this is all about the object in a programming. Okay, but this is all the discussion which I did. That was complete. That was complete the theoretical discussion. No doubt that theoretical discussion is necessary. That theoretical discussion is necessary whenever we are going for the programming or the practical things. Okay, but but here, okay, we need to understand that one very much practically, and to understand the object practically, to understand the object practically, we as a programmer, we have to understand another one concept, another one very important concept, another very crucial concept, and that is nothing but a class. That is nothing but a class. Yes, yes. Can anybody tell me what do you know about a class? What is the class? Everyone, I want to hear from you. Yes, Priyanka is saying it is a blueprint. Collection of objects, Mrunalini is saying. Sanket is saying class is a blueprint of the object. Yes, others. Similar like a structure, Parth is saying. Yes. Creating object, Priyanka. Okay. Farendra saying template of object. Okay. Rohit is saying template. Kashmir is saying template is used to create an object. Raj is saying particular kind of object. Yes. Super. 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 Thank you so much for your responses. Yes. Riddhi is saying class is a set of object which shares the common characteristics. Okay. Sanket is saying class is a user defined data type. Okay. Good, Sanket. Okay, Swati is saying behavior of object. Okay. Yes, good. Lakshadip is saying defined data type that contains the data and functions. Define data type that contains the data and functions. Good. Sneha is saying class is set of object. Class is a set of object. Okay. Okay. Good. 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 That's great. That's great. Thank you so much for your responses. Thank you so much for your responses. So I just okay, collection of things sharing a common attributes. Priyanka is saying. Okay, great, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So here I just want to go for this definition. I just want to go for this definition of this one. So I am just going to collect all the things, okay, and that are going to put together here, okay, into my definition here. Okay, whatever you are pasted, you are pasted here in the chat. Okay, so what is class? Okay, what is class? Yes, okay, be here with me. Class, it is a user defined data type. What is class? Class is a user defined data type. Class is a user defined data type which serves as class is a user defined data type which serves as template. Someone use this word. Okay, it is a user defined data type which serves as a template, okay, which serves as a blueprint, which serves as a blueprint, okay, or it is a template or a blueprint, or we can say it serves as a mold, okay, or in Marathi we call it as a sacha. In Marathi, those knows the Marathi, okay, it is called as a sacha. So it is a user defined data type which serves as a template or a blueprint or the mold or the sacha for creating multiple objects, for creating multiple objects, basically for creating a multiple object. So this is the very simple definition. It is a very simple definition. It is a very simple definition of a class which I given here. So it is a user defined data type which serves as a template or a blueprint or a mold or the sacha for creating multiple objects. Okay. So actually in Maharashtra, in Pune, Ganpatis are very famous. Ganpatis are very famous. So do anybody knows how Ganpatis are created? Yes. Anybody knows how Ganpatis are created? Yes. Anybody? You can put here in the chat how Ganpatis are created. These are very famous in the Maharashtra, in Pune especially. Okay, with the help of the mold, Swati is saying, good. Okay, Parth Deshmukh is saying by soil. Yes. Others quickly, I want to hear from you all. Others, yes. How Ganpatis are created? Yes, natural clay, Kashmir is saying, good. Plaster of Paris, okay. Atul, Swati, Shadu clay, okay, good. Sanket, some murtis created by directly hands and some created with the use of sacha. Okay, good Sanket. We are here interested in the sachas. Okay, pop clay, Raj. Thank you so much. Okay, great, great, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So here, okay, okay, here. Okay, can you guys just put you are from which place here in the chat? So I can understand as I am talking about the Maharashtra and the Pune. Okay, Ganpatis are very famous in the Pune. So I just want to hear it from you all. You are from which place? We are from which place? Yes, Lakshadweep is from Pune. Atul is also from Pune. Kashmira is also from Pune. Swati is also from Pune. Riddhi is also from Pune. Sanket from the Srigonda, but now in Pune. Sneha is from Pune. Okay, Priyanka is from Shirur. Yes, Siddesh is from Satara. Twinkle is from Amravati, but currently in Pune. Mrunalini from Karad. Mahesh from Pune. Poonam is from Nashik. Raj is from Pune. Okay, Rohit is from Amravati. Parth is from Pune. Yes, others. Okay, okay, good. So maximum crowd is Pune. Crowd is from the Pune. Good, good. So though you know, so see, if you have to create the Ganpatis, okay, assume like okay, this is basically I'm just trying to create this. Assume this is the mold. This is the mold of a Ganpati. Okay, this is the mold of a okay, I can say Ganpati. So here I'm just going to have the Ganpati like this one only. I'm going to have the Ganpati like this one only. Okay, so this is my mold. So from this mold, okay, from this mold, actual Ganpatis are created. From this mold, actual Ganpatis are created. So I just call it as the mold. Okay, or in Marathi, we call it as the Sacha. We call it as the Sacha. Okay, or I'm calling it as the template. Okay, I'm calling it as a template, or finally I'm calling it as a class. So class is like your Sacha. Class is like your mold. Class is like your template basically. Class is like your template. Class is like your template. Okay, so it has been created. Now, okay, does we take the Sacha and go for the puja? We never. Okay, so will not use a mold or will not use the Sacha, okay, for the puja. So from this mold basically, we are going to create the Ganpatis. So all you guys have said some words, okay, some other things also there, okay, natural soil like that one. So like that one, okay, assume like I just have put the liquid plaster of Paris here. Okay, I poured here. Okay, I wait for some times. I just remove the Sacha, and you know that okay, there will be a Ganpati come out from this one. Okay, there will be a Ganpati come out from this one, and the Ganpati which come out from this one, okay, will be exactly similar to the Sacha. Will be exactly similar like a Sacha only. Whatever the size, whatever the shape, whatever the design, okay, we have given to that. Okay, it will be like this one only. It will be like this one. So this Ganpati will be created from this mold. This Ganpati will be created from this Sacha. Exactly same. If I want another one Ganpati, okay, that I just can create from that Sacha, and it will be exactly like this one. So all the Ganpatis which I am going to create, all the Ganpatis which I am going to create from that particular Sacha, okay, will have exactly same structure, okay, will have exactly same size, okay, everything, okay, everything. Okay, so from this, okay, all these are we call it as objects. All these are called as the object, and this one we call it as a class. So from 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 class only I am going to create object. From class only I am going to create object. So from this Sacha only I am going to create a object. No doubt, okay, plaster of Paris is not good for the environment, so we should not use that, but just for sake of example I took this name. Okay, otherwise, okay, we should not use the plaster of Paris. Okay, it will harm our planet, which is very beautiful. Okay, so thank you. So this is how basically, so exactly same. So assume like if I have to create a employee as object, I have to create an employee as object. I have to create employee as object. Exactly same. I need to create the template. I need to create the mold. That means that I need to create a, we can say I need to create a class. So I am going to have the employee. Okay, employee as a class. And from that employee class, I am going to create an object, and I can just call it as a EMP1. Okay, employee 1. Okay, I'm just going to call it as employee 2. Okay, or I'm going to call it as the employee 3. I'm going to call it as the employee 3. So for example, if I do have the employee, then that employee should have the, okay, I can have the employee ID. So for example, 101 is the employee ID. Okay, Ram is employee name. Okay, and 60 is okay, salary for that. Exactly same, I can have the 102. Okay, then I can have the Sham, and we can have the 65. Okay, like this one as a salary. Then I do have the 103. 103. Okay, there will be a Jam. Okay, Jam, and I do have the 75. So this is how basically I'm going to create so this employee 103 is employee ID. Okay, this name is nothing but a employee name. Okay, and I am just going to write this will be a salary. This will be a salary. So if I need the structure like this one, okay, I have to create the template like this one only. I have to create the template. Okay, which will have the employee ID, which will have the employee name, which will have the employee salary. And what these are? These are the attributes we discuss. These are the properties. These are the attributes, or these are the properties. And through that one, okay, we are going to create an actual object. We are going to create a actual object basically. So that all the things programmatically we have to understand. That all the things programmatically we have to understand. If we understand all these things, if we understand all these things, then nothing is there. If you understand the class, if you understand the object, if you understand the difference between that, if you understand how exactly memory is get allocated, how exactly that memory which is there, it can be a stack memory or it can be a heap memory, that will be get allocated. So if you understand that, okay, then nothing is there into the Java programming. Okay, so if you have to understand the syntax for the class, okay, here you can just simply write I can have the syntax like a class as a keyword. Okay, class as a keyword, that can be a public, private, protected here, but I'm just making it as a, okay, not a private. Okay, I'm just writing here the public class, and here I can have the class name. If I have to create the class, okay, I can just simply write this one, class name, class name. And every class in the, okay, world, okay, will have the data members. Okay, every class in the world have the data members. So that data members I'm going to write. That means what? That means what? In the object definition, we observe there are the properties or the attributes. That properties and attributes are nothing but the data members. Data, I can say members, sorry. That are the data members. Okay, then we do have, okay, we do have there into this one, we do have the, okay, I'm just going to remove this and we'll put, okay, we'll do have the methods. Okay, or these are called as a member functions. Member functions. These are called as a member functions basically, remember. So I return the class, public class name, opening bracket and its closing bracket. Okay, and in that one I have written the data members, I have written the methods or the member functions, and finally I can have the block. I can have the block. I can have the block only. So I can put either these three things into the class. Okay, then this one, okay, I'm not going to put anything logically. Okay, that can be like comments or other things can be there, documentation things, but actual programming related, okay, I can have only three things. Either within a class, I can have the data member. Within a class, I can have the method or a member function. It is the one of the same, or I can have the block. I can have the block. So these data members and methods together, these data members and a method together, we call it as a members of a class. So data member is also a member, and method or the member function is also a member. So this is like our family. So this class name which I have given, okay, it can have the data member, methods or members, and then it can have a block. So for example, if I take the employee as a example, then I can just simply write in the syntax I have given public, okay, class as a keyword, and then I can give the class name. What is the class name? I do have the employee. I do have the employee, and then I will have the opening and a closing bracket. And in that closing opening and a closing bracket, then I can have the data members. What will be the data member? Employee ID, employee name, and a salary. So for that, what will be the data type of employee ID? So that will be an integer. So I can just write integer employee ID semicolon. Okay, then I can have the string. Okay, string employee name. Okay, semicolon. Then I can have the double double salary, because it will be in the decimal point. So salary. Okay, these are the three important things related to the employee I put it. But if you want, okay, designation, if you want, okay, the location, if you want even other fields, that even you can put. But here, for the sake of understanding, sake of simplicity, I have given the public class employee, integer employee ID, employee name, salary, and so on. Okay, and all these three, we call it as the data members. All these three, we call it as the data members basically. These are called as the data members. So I just put it like this one. Now in this one, I can write methods. I can write methods. Methods are nothing but the functions only. Methods are nothing but the functions, and that functions I'm going to write in detail. I'm going to explain you in the detail, like return type, how the syntax will be there, and so on. So I just sake of understanding, I'm just writing public, okay, method name, I just write void, and there I'm going to write a display. I'm going to write a display, and this will be done. This will be done. So this is how, okay, I have written. There can be multiple methods. This is the function I have written, public void display. For the employee, if you have, okay, other functions, okay, I'm just going to write a public void get salary. And in that one, okay, we can have the opening and closing bracket. We can have the, okay, opening and a closing bracket like this one. Okay, so this is how I have declared this one. This is how I have declared. And in this one, you can just write the system.out.println, that already you guys know, system.out.println, and there I can write a salary, got the salary, got salary. Okay, so this is, okay, I have written the definition. So this is my class. This is my class. In that one, data members, methods I have written. So I can simply say about a class, when we declare a class, actual memory is not allocated. When we declare a class, actual memory is not allocated. When it is allocated, so if you create an object from class, so if you are going to create object from class, here you have to write a class name. Okay, I will write here how you are going to create object. You are going to write a class name, object name is equals to new. Okay, I can write a class name like this one. I can write this one. So if I'm writing like this one, class name, object name is equal to new class name. So basically it is going to create object. So in our case, what is there? Okay, I can write employee, emp1 is equals to new. I can write a employee. Okay, employee emp1. So emp1 will be created like this one. Exactly same, I can write a employee emp2 is equals to new and employee. And exactly same, if I want to create a third one object, employee emp3 is equals to new and employee. So this is how I am going to create a object of a class. So if I created object like this one, then what exactly happen inside the memory? How it will allocate the memory inside the heap? How it will allocate the memory inside the heap? Okay, that we are going to observe in the next session. That we are going to learn in the next session. Okay, so get ready for that. Okay, tomorrow's session will be a very interesting. Tomorrow's session will be a very interesting and a very important session. Okay, because there I'm going to discuss about the garbage collection too. There I'm going to discuss about the memory management too. There I'm going to discuss about the stack and the heap memory differences. Okay, and which is very important for the understanding of programming, which is very important to build the logic, which is very important to develop the logic. Okay, so please be there. I will stop here for the day. Hope everyone understood what is exactly object and the classes. What is exactly object and the classes? If yes, okay, if yes, you can just quickly put a good to stop here. Okay, G to GTS, good to stop. GTS message here in the chat. Quickly put here GT. Yes, good to stop. Good to stop. Okay. Yes, I can see the messages from you guys. And thank you so much your responses. Thank you so much your responses and your patience. See, okay, even though yesterday's session and day before yesterday's session is cancelled, okay, it will be postponed ahead. So no worries. Everything related to this one, I'm going to discuss with you. Everything. I'm not going to skip anything. Okay, so just I need your patience. I need your patience and your learning attitude. Okay, if you are with me with this one, then definitely no one can stop you to get success. No one can stop you. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for your patience. Okay, see you tomorrow. We'll stop here for the day. If you have any questions, you can ask. I'm here for the next 2 minutes. Thank you so much. And one more thing, I just want to ask you. Okay, already you have our okay that other workshop banner basically. Okay, where www.nitenghodke.in is there. So please share to all your friends. Okay, please put that one into your okay WhatsApp status as well as Facebook as well as Insta. Ask your friends personally to join the session because it is completely the free session. And again, new batch we have announced. That is on the 16th of Feb. So I want everyone should support me. I want everyone should support you. And if you are supporting me, that means that you are supporting your friends. You are supporting for your friends, families. Okay, because that will be a very life-changing things basically if they are joining with us. Okay, so please do that one for me. One more thing, like already I have put one video on my YouTube channel. Okay, there, please watch that video carefully. And again, those are very new to my YouTube channel, please subscribe the channel. Okay, then click that bell icon so that as soon as I upload any video, okay, you can get the link. And there are so many other links even related to the core Java, and you will get the future advanced things also there. Okay, there are so many other things also there. Sanket is saying architecture of the Java already seen, sir. Okay, thank you so much, Sanket. There are other videos also, you can just watch there. And from these sessions too, I'm going to put some videos too. So please subscribe the channel. Okay, and tomorrow is the session. Yes, there will be a session tomorrow because already we have missed few sessions. So tomorrow will be not a holiday. Thank you so much. Thank you so much all. See you tomorrow. If you have any questions, you can put here in the chat or you can ask me. Thank you.